Grand risings, our beautiful royalty, our amazing kings and queens. How are you doing today? I'm so happy to be here with you. We have a very special guest today, our incredible queen, Nediya, that is going to share with us her absolutely phenomenal recovery story, her survival story, her skin story, overcoming severe eczema, also depression and anxiety she was struggling with. And she discovered the path of raw living foods, and she's been healing herself naturally. She was taking some very intense and damaging topical steroids that she came off of, which is absolutely incredible. I love the documentary that you shared with me. Maybe we could share it again in the group, because it really helped me have a better understanding. I didn't really know about all this until you opened up, to me about your journey. And I just think you're so amazing. You're so powerful, and you are here to share your journey. And you are now starting to help others. You're starting to serve, to coach. And so we're going to talk a little bit about your new program that you're offering for those who are struggling with similar issues. And whether it's eczema or psoriasis or acne, we can trace it back to the same source. So this can help you with whatever skin condition that you are struggling with. So thank you so much, Queen, for coming and sharing with us. We have some amazing questions that we love to dive deep into. Starting with, how did this all start? When did you start having issues with your skin?
Well, it actually started just from the beginning. I already had eczema as a baby, but
Oh.
It was like one time one period it was very severe. But now I realized that was because I was I was raised by different foster parents and went into group homes.
Oh.
So I was I already started in like a traumatic, like a chronic stress situation. So this, like suppression. I was suppressed with my emotions and all that my whole childhood. But so my eczema started as a baby, and in my childhood it came a little bit, but nothing that worse. It was just a few patches of eczema, and I ate everything. Like I ate dairy, I ate a lot of processed foods, like most children, but it was nothing severe. But I was a little bit like itchy, but only when I became stressed, when things became stressful. So it was never because of this food, only stressful situations. And but then when I was 14 years old, I went away from my foster parents home, and then I lived in different group homes. So the stress came back again, and that was when my eczema was getting out of control. It was very severe. My gut issues, because I was also emotional eater, and I never knew the gut skin connection. I never, sorry, I just see my brother join with my surname. It's my foster brother, and he just joins. And
oh, wonderful. Welcome, King Dennis.
He's my heart. Really, he's one of the most beautiful persons in my life that really, he helped me so much along this journey when I was struggling and crying, but that's not a thing. But he's very supportive, have been very supportive. But yeah, back to my story. The eczema was very severe when I was 14. And then I was prescribed steroids because the skin issues, most of the time we go to the dermatologist and they say, it's chronic eczema. It's a chronic skin condition, autoimmune. How you say that? Sorry, autoimmune.
Yes.
And the body is basically attacking itself. But I was like, is there nothing that I can do with like food? Or I wasn't really thinking about it at that age because I was in a group home and I was smoking. I was drinking a little bit. I was eating a lot of like tons of processed foods because of my emotional suppression with food. Yeah. And so then I noticed that the flares became worse and worse. And I was like, okay, but is it stress? Is it something that I ate? So I quit smoking already. But I just didn't want to prescribe the steroids. And I didn't want to use the steroids anymore because there were like flares where I never had eczema before. And it didn't even look like eczema anymore. It was like all over my hands, my face, but it was like red, like really red. And then at the time, I didn't knew about the condition red skin syndrome, aka steroid withdrawal, topical steroid withdrawal, because the dermatologists don't know how you say that. They don't acknowledge the fact that it can happen with the prescribable steroids. And they never told me like to do something in my lifestyle. They never told me to, well, I don't know, just eat healthier and maybe do a test, like a sensitivity test. Nothing. They didn't even told me how much to use and how to use it safely. So that was really weird for me. But I was just thinking, it's a cream, right? It's the magic cream. You put it on your skin and the eczema goes away. And then it's just like, yay, it's helping. But then it comes back, and I was done with it. So I quitted the steroids when I was 19, actually. So periods of time when I started living on my own, I was 17 at the time. So very young, and that's why I quitted the steroids. And then I didn't change my diet yet, but when I was 19, and I noticed in the end of 2018 that my skin was reacting from like the withdrawal symptoms came in the end of 2018, and around 2019 in March, I think I stopped the steroids. And that's really when my healing journey started with plant-based eating. That year I transitioned into medical medium stuff. I don't know, I think you heard from him. Eating more plant-based foods, healing, also high fruits. So I started with that. Actually, that's when it started.
Amazing. Wow. That's incredible that, you already had the insight back then, even though you didn't really know about it, but like your intuition was telling you like, there must be another way. But, when we're so influenced by, the medical teams and the nurses and the doctors, we kind of like, right, you didn't have the confidence maybe to trust yourself back then. But what you're coming to demonstrate to us is that the body, is very intelligent, and it will never do anything to harm itself. So like the skin, the expression that was coming out, from the skin, whether it's rashes or pimples or redness, anything like that, it's actually an adaptive like response. It's an intelligent response to what's really going on deeper. And really the creams and all that were only making it worse because they weren't treating the root cause of what was going on, which is, the diet, the emotions, the digestion. It all really starts in the gut. So tell us a little bit, so you found out about the raw living foods and you started eating more fruits and vegetables. You must have hit some pretty challenging moments at that time, right? Because healing isn't always pretty, right? It's not always easy. Can you tell us a little bit about that journey when you transitioned and you stopped what happened at that point when you did start eating fruits and veggies?
It started in 2019, like I said, but I didn't knew about like raw foods, like 100% raw foods, because as we know, it's easier to eat a pizza than a salad, for example. And we are not used to eating only fruits and vegetables. Oh no, that's like the protein stuff and all. I didn't have like an inner circle that was doing even like conscious eating, like eating healthy food. So I started searching a lot of YouTube videos, documentaries, of course, the regular, like the most common vegan documentaries. So I was like, I never made the connection as a child. Before the group homes, I was very into nature, very connected with myself and very with the animals and all of that. But in the group homes, you kind of lose yourself because of the situation that you're in. It's more like surviving. But I realized when I started to eat more plant-based foods, I started to get more connected to myself. And I realized the people that I was surrounding with, the study that I did, I actually, when I went through the withdrawal, I was doing, I want to become how do you say that? Beautician? Yeah, like a beauty specialist. And I was like giving treatments at my college, and I couldn't do it because my whole skin was on fire. like you saw the documentary. For those who are interested, I will like put a link, or you can do that, because it's for everyone who's thinking that it's severe eczema. It's actually the steroids, the medications that are letting the eczema getting worse. It's not eczema anymore. It looks like eczema, but it's not. So with the foods, it was slowly transition. It was not like, eat it. My diet was like a lot of breads, pasta. It was I was actually very addicted to chocolate, like sugar, like most of us when we don't eat enough fruit sugar. And I ate a lot of chicken, so not like all meat, but I was addicted to chicken. Chicken wings, I don't know.
Me
It was
too. Here.
and a lot.
Yeah.
But now I realize it was more like the stimulation of it and the heavy suppression, so that I didn't have to feel my real feeling in my gut with my emotions and all of that stuff. But yeah, the food was just slow transition. I just started with cutting out dairy, gluten, meat. Fish was the last one, and it was all in the same year. And then 2020 came, and then I was finding out about raw food videos, and then I started to see, oh, high fruits, let's try it. More fruit, mono meals. And I was thinking, oh, I was so happy all of a sudden. My depression, and I felt so light, and I felt so, everything came out also with like trauma and all of that. But that's where the healing really started to go high fruits, by going high fruit.
Powerful. Yeah, it's really incredible the things that happen when we stop numbing ourselves, physically, and then everything starts to come up to the surface for our healing, but it's not always easy, and you have a lot of courage to have embarked on this path, and now you see that. Tell us a little bit about the other health issues that you were overcoming. You said you were dealing with, sorry, I'm just going to move my fan a little bit, it's hot here. With depression and anxiety. Like, how would you explain how the living foods helped you overcome that? Did you go through an emotional breakdown, because you had a lot of trauma that had been suppressed with the foods and all that? So, and the smoking, was it difficult for you to go through that period of adapting to the living foods, or were you so ready for anything that you welcomed it all?
No, it was a very difficult journey, because I was addicted. I had actually also struggled like with binge eating, emotional eating. To be honest, now I say it very shortly about how my journey was, but it was really, really hard. Like now you see me as, oh, leg fiber and the curls and all of that. But when you go through withdrawal, especially for the first 3, 6, for some people, for me it was like 7 months. It was like hell on earth. You are itching 24/7, but no joke, because I already been through like hard stuff, but this is the hardest thing I ever went through. And it also can take years to fully recover. So I wouldn't say I'm fully healed, because still flares can still come, but that's how skin healing goes. So even if you are doing the perfect fruit diet or organic fruits, don't matter. Skin healing takes time, based on how long you have been suppressed and what you're doing while you're healing. So yeah, I was in the bath, like I took Epsom salt baths and sea salt, because it was in the first year very red sleeves. It was all over, and that was not eczema anymore. And I actually found out about the condition because of a Facebook group, like the eczema Facebook group. And I saw a woman who had the same symptoms that was not normal, like patches of eczema. And that's where I started chatting with her, and she let me join the group Topical Steroid Withdrawal, hormone group. It's Dutch group, and also how you say that, international group.
Yeah.
That's where I realized, oh, this is not normal, and this is really painful. And you get suicidal sometimes. I'm not a suicidal person, but it's you have to imagine, it feels like you are on fire. You can compare it a little bit to a burn victim. I don't know which grade, but it's and not like only some people that have burned themselves, it's for a period of time. And some like addicts from heroin, you've been through some things with drugs, right? But that's, I don't know how long it took for you, but it's not like years for the most people, I think. So you can, it's really like, I felt like a zombie and a junkie at the same time, because you're really shaking also, because your temperature is not regulated properly and a lot of symptoms. I think about all of those things now, and it was very traumatic, very, very traumatic.
There must
Yeah.
be so much anger, you know, and frustration against these people that are doing this to you, you know, like all I feel is like, why would they prescribe these products that are so damaging to the body, you know, at such a young age? And from babies they prescribe them, from little children. Like, why would this happen? And you know, there's just so much frustration, and I could see how you're transforming this anger, you know, like, how could this happen to me? You know, why would this happen to me? You're turning it into power. But I commend you so much for rising above and choosing to survive, because I can't even imagine the pain that you were in, the discomfort that you were in, the incredible you know, sadness, despair, loneliness, that comes with a lot of social anxiety too, not wanting to go in public, and all these things come up when we're dealing with skin issues. And it's like, it's just crazy what the medical industry is doing to people, you know. And it's so important, because you are not alone. I'm sure there's millions of people that are going through this and just don't know any better, you know. Like, you're lucky that you got introduced to this path, but not everybody is so blessed to, you know, be called to this lifestyle. Yeah, how do you reckon with that? You must have felt so angry, you know, and have so many questions.
Yes, at first I was so angry, but then I realized if I truly want to heal myself, I have to let go of my anger as well. Also the anger of I already had experience with other systems, like before the medical system, I had like youth care and going from group home to group home. So, and I was fighting that before, because there are also a lot of things that aren't right. And it's also is coming from like the higher, like people, how you say it.
Yeah.
But so I already knew I can fight, but the first year I was very angry because I was in so much pain, and I didn't know about the pharmaceutical industry and like all those things. But I knew that something wasn't right. But if I stayed like angry, I couldn't fight the system, because that's not what I wanted. I wanted to create my own healing, and that wouldn't happen if I stayed with those negative emotions, you know. And that's not to say, oh, I'm so intelligent, but I'm lucky that I have gone through so much, but I still had the how we say that, intuition to go for the right things, go into the right path.
Yeah.
So it was not only the skin, it's really about the things that I went through before already. And
Yeah.
it's
That's amazing. That's how we start serving. King Ken had a conversation and I yesterday, and we were just talking about that, about, you know, in order to truly help people, we need to somehow find a way to forgive. You know, at the end of the day, we need to embody this, you know, loving frequency within ourselves and towards those that have harmed us, you know, not because they deserve it, because what they're doing is pure evil, but for us to help others and step into our power. There has to be this sense of peace in our hearts, you know. And that's why a lot of people, when they come to the vegan path, with good reason, we have a lot of anger in us. We have a lot of like, oh my God, you know, there's so much
the bullshit, right?
a lot of bullshit. Yeah, then we could have resentment towards our parents, towards our caretakers, towards our ex. But like, at some point, you know, for our own benefit, it's good to overcome that. And I really feel that sense of peace coming from you, and that true warrior queen spirit coming through from that incredible place of pain that you had to go through in order to be here. And God truly does train us in the most mysterious ways. You know, we look back and you're like, oh my gosh, like I had to go through all of that to be here today. But I know that you are going to help, and you are already helping so many of us with sharing your journey and having gone through that. So tell us a little bit about this this calling that you've been feeling now. I know you've been going through a lot of your own healing crisis and a lot of your healing journey. I know it hasn't been easy for you. How did you come to this realization now that you're feeling the calling to serve, and how will that look like for those who are interested in getting support from you? Because I don't think there's much support out there.
No, not at all. And there are a lot of dermatologists still. There are some of them. That's so not funny, but there are so many people. So there are, how you said it, a few dermatologists worldwide that are saying, okay, stop topical steroid withdrawal. It's real, but we're still gonna suppress it with, how you said it, immunosuppressants. Yes. So other medications, and they say you can still heal with that. No, it's, they don't combine those two, and I don't believe in. The thing that I want to do is really help people to heal naturally, because otherwise the skin issue is just, it's not the skin. There's something inside, it's the lymphatic system, it's the kidney filtration, like the whole detox stuff. It's the gut, that's the most important one, the gut and the liver with skin issues. But it depends on how you treat it. And when you treat it with medications, then a lot of organs are all out of, they don't work probably anymore. But yeah, the thing that I felt, I started my journey and I already knew that I wanted to serve other people, but I didn't know how, because I was in so much pain. You first have to heal yourself for the most part before you can help other people. And I actually, this year, because I moved in 2020 to a new city in the Netherlands, and I quitted my study. Well, I finished my study beautician. I don't know how, because it was a 3-year study while going through skin issues and giving treatments and working with products. And I needed to change from internship because I couldn't do it. So I've learned nothing there when it comes to the study itself, but I've learned a lot of myself. But I was so happy to do another study that fitted me better, like social work, because of my past with with youth care. But this year, around end of May, actually, I quitted my study. I was in a, how do you say that? Not midlife crisis, but in a crisis. I'm 22, so not a midlife crisis. But I was really thinking about, I want to leave here, because I actually had a hard winter time. Dennis knows about it. He was a lot of time with me here in the Hague, because I was in a lot of pain, because I had another flare actually. My face and my neck, it's still a little bit healing, because I was having like an emotional crisis. And I think all of you can realize that when you're going through trauma still, there's still trauma to be resolved, you say it like that, to heal. Then it comes out in some sort of way, and your symptoms start up. And for me, it's the skin, it's the weakest place, because steroid use can take years. But yeah, so I had a hard time, and I was like, I want to move to a tropical place. I hate this winter time in the Netherlands. I want to coach people. So I made the decision to quit social work and start to hire a business coach that I already spoke 8 months ago on Instagram. She's also a high raw foodie. There are not much of the coaches that are also raw. So I was reconnecting with her, and I started to ask her, like, I saved all my money and I just gave it to her, because I could barely work the last few years because I was so sick. So I barely hold myself. I was just burned out to the max. And I was like, I need to do something that's really fulfilling for me and is really not stressful for me. And this is so deep to my heart. This is really what I've been going through. And this is more important than becoming a beautician for me. I think there are amazing things happening also in your group, that the healers, we are the healers, and we can serve people. Coaching becomes more now, and online working, and working like, how you said it, location freedom. I was like, I need to make this happen. And this is what I'm doing for the last few months, and I'm creating my program. For women especially, can also be men, but I'm focused on niche like colored women with difficult skin, severe eczema, TSW,
Yeah.
and focus on like not only diets, but I really want to transition them into high raw, but they don't have to be only fruits, or I don't believe in that, and I can't expect that from them. And I also believe you can heal your skin without going 100% raw. You can do that, but I want to teach them to implement living foods and hydrating, high water rich foods. That's what heal me. So yeah.
So beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love to see you embracing the mission, you know, embracing the calling. And I could see that it's so dear to your heart. And that's really what is going to help the most, you know, is when you feel connected to the pain, you know, and to the suffering, and to wanting to support others. And I love what you say. It's true that you know, I have been eating some cooked foods, and I've been surprising myself how my healing is continuing, you know, like I had this impression that I had to be like 100%, and maybe for a certain period it could be beneficial for some very intense healing. But I do believe that, you know, 75-80% raw, you will see a lot of healing happen in you, as long as the body has the right environment to get the trash out. Really, that's the main thing, is to like eliminate and really get those organs back in optimal functioning, you know, capacity. What other modalities have you been doing, you know, with the food? Have you been sweating a lot? Have you been exercising in any way? Like, what have you been also implementing as a holistic practice to help support your organs of elimination?
That's a good one, because exercise, I in the wintertime, like I said, I still get like I got minor flares, or there was a big flare, but when the wintertime came here, like in the Netherlands, it's then when it's flaring and you have like a lot of pain, it's hard to exercise. And in the beginning, when you are really in topical steroid withdrawal, you don't want to exercise. But daily movements, like just moving the lymphatic system, that's the thing that I do most of the time.
Okay.
And so daily movement, but not like when you prescribed steroids, it's like a cortisol, and that's a stress hormone. But when you do the intense exercise while you're going through this to topical steroid withdrawal, it's not good for patients that are going through this, because their hormones are so out of whack, are so out of balance, and you're even gonna stress the cortisol to a higher level. So daily exercise, but yeah, just walking and dancing when I feel good. I like music. I actually play piano, so finding a hobby really helps. Distraction is a big one in your healing journey, because to be honest, I've created food fear. Like, what can I eat? Nightshades, even with raw. People don't realize that people with skin issues, and they gonna flare, even if they are doing the right things, they're gonna flare anyway. And you can get mentally crazy, be like, oh, this happened, it was the food, it was the weather, it was all of the external things, and you get crazy sometimes. And that's why I want to have a community. It's so important, because I've drove myself crazy a lot of times. I cried a lot. It was just horrible. But yeah, movement and sweating, but not that much. Sunlight is key, and that's why I really want to move, because the weather here, the climate is just very bad for my skin, and for my mental health as well. And that goes those two goes with each other. But yeah, so sunlight, taking baths to how do you say it? Detox the skin cells as well, like how you say it, regenerate skin cells. Magnesium, lemon water also in the morning. I haven't done it in a while, but that's very good also for skin healing, as you know. And what did I do? There are so many things, so now I just don't know.
I love how you mentioned the sun. I think the sun is so important whenever we can. There's so much misconception around sun and skin disease, and you're going to get skin cancer, but really it's the opposite. You know, the sun is really so powerful for any skin issues, and really, like, we should try to prioritize that. Yeah, Queen Jenny is saying that she's still having some flares during her juice cleanse. Yeah, had you questioning sometimes. Sometimes as the body's healing, it might get worse before it gets better, right? Maybe you could touch a little bit on that when we are detoxing and cleansing. For me, it was my acne, like it came out even worse, like during my cleansing. What advice do you have to give to some of us that are going through, some intense detoxes and seeing some symptoms still pop up? Is there anything that we can do to support the flare-ups to
For
help feel
me,
better?
I think flare-ups, what I said, it comes even if you do some everything right. But I realized when flares come, you can heal them quicker. And it sounds very obvious, but it's really the mindset. And that's also what I want to implement in my program, the mindset work, the healing mindset. Like, what is the healing mindset set? And journaling also, like certain activities. Because when you're flaring, I think people can relate when they have skin issues. They focus on, oh, I'm itching. It's so hard to not focus on the physical stuff, the physical pain. But when you are distracted with things, with having a vision, and that's what I created this year. Like I actually created a vision board with me in tropical places and fruits and becoming a coach. So a vision, I say to my brother as well, he wanted to become an actor. And I say him every time, make that vision board, because then you have a vision instead of focusing on, oh, I have chronic skin, I'm so ugly, I'm not confident. And so you really want to have this distraction, an inner circle with supportive people. That's so important, even if it's just one. Like for the most part, it was just my brother, and I've been isolating for all my friends. And now I see I have more online friends now with the raw food community. Then I don't relate to them that much anymore because I'm going into another direction, which is okay. But so an inner circle, very important. Sleeping whenever you can and taking time off work, and don't feel bad about it, and don't feel that your life is behind, that you are behind life, your things that you want to do. Just, we are so focused on, oh, we always have to work and we always have to make money, but chronically sick situations, when you are sick, you just want to focus on yourself. And self-love is just key for me in the journey. Self-love was the most beautiful thing that I discovered, like reconnecting with myself, with my inner child, actually. Just more nature, going into nature, just topical steroid withdrawal, realized to be still, silence, just surrender, accept, and then the flare goes quicker, goes away quickly, instead of suffering for years because the mindset is still sick, So those are some things about the mindset.
It's like basically coming down to calming down the nervous system too. Doing all these things that you're describing are really beneficial for really overcoming any addiction, but especially like calming the nervous system down, rebalancing and getting connected to our breath, and to nature, because like you said, it's a stress hormone. So if we could calm down the stress in different ways, do things that make us feel good, maybe even like watching a funny movie, like things that might bring humor or joy. Like you said, reconnecting with your inner child is so important. And I guess it would help you in your entire life. Now you will always be more conscious, and somebody who hasn't gone through that, about your mental health, about your mental state. So becoming more sensitive to, what we allow into our lives too, like, realizing that you could get triggered by, stressful people or drama or, an abusive relationship. Like, in a sense, maybe this actually saved you in so many other ways that you will have the potential now to truly have a happy, long, healthy life with healthy relationships, healthy boundaries. Now it's like this has brought you to being so aware of everything that comes into your life. And I think that's actually a really beautiful blessing in disguise. You had to go through so much, but now it's like you truly have this potential, and you're so young to have the rest of your life be blissful and joyful. I can't believe you're only 22. You have so much wisdom and so much
I'm also
yes, maturity. Yes.
but it's also because of what I've been through. But not everyone is gonna act the same way when they are not raised by their parents. So it's also me, just me, and not saying again like, oh, it was because of this. No, it is you that changed the like perspective and change the direction and where you want to go, instead of being in the how do you say that, the victim
Yes.
mentality. And that's what I left behind, and that really helped me. And that was when the self-love developed more.
Yeah, and when you could turn that, I say this often, but when you can turn, you know, the mindset from, oh, this is happening to me, to this is happening for me, everything starts to change. Like, what lesson can I take from this, and how can I, you know, transform this? And that's when you become a true alchemist, a true like magician of your, you know, turning you know, it's like I always see this lotus analogy. You know, the lotus comes from really murky waters. You know, it only emerges from this muddiness, you know, this like really not clear place, but then it becomes this beautiful lotus for everybody to see. And so wonderful that, you know, you were initiated in this way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very, I actually wanted to say one thing about like the self-love part. I
Yeah.
wasn't that much, like, I'm a girl, so most of us in this more modern world are wear makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't say that, but I was in some way, I was hiding still with makeup before I went through the withdrawal, because when it's in your face and on your neck, you don't put makeup, it's too painful. But I really learned how to love myself without filters. I was not on Instagram or WhatsApp anymore, because those were not my priority. I was off social media. I was not showing myself. I was most time in bed for the first year, for real. I was so much in my bed and watching like silly movies, and that really helped me and reconnecting with myself. But since I really want to say to everyone, since I've becoming my true self, and just no filters, like no makeup, I was wearing clothes that fit me well because of my skin problems. So I didn't care if I was wearing like cotton clothes, and I wasn't wearing the things that I really wanted at my age. And that's why I realized the people that came into my life when I started to be unfiltered and really raw and high energy, and the vibration raised for me because of the fruit fast that I did as well. I think you can relate to that as well when you choose fasting, or you just become lighter, and you see the people that come into your life are exactly the people that you need, and that gave me messages that I really needed to hear. It was a lot of beautiful things happened. A lot of people are in the 3D world and saying, oh, it's going to go, everything goes bad. But for me, I see so much miracles in my life right now by being vulnerable. Like now, I'm still not perfect I don't talk English perfectly, but I don't care anymore, because I grow by doing and being myself. So that's what I really want to say to everyone. Like, just don't be scared to be yourself. Sounds very cliche, but it gives you so much beautiful things that, yeah, brings you where you want to be. Yeah.
Yes. And being, exactly. Like being real, like Queen Jenny says, being real and authentic will truly show you who your real tribe is, and who loves you for you, who, you know, and even energetically speaking, the ones that aren't, you know, good for your highest evolution, they will drop off naturally, and then new people will come into your field and help you, you know, make all your dreams happen and help you to elevate even more, be expanders in your life. So that's really beautiful that you said that, and that takes a lot of self-love to be ready to lose certain people, because I think when we embark on this path, there might be a fear, like, oh no, you know, we subconsciously hold on to these habits because we don't want to lose the people in our life, because, oh, what happens if I stop smoking and drinking? Well, I can't hang out with those friends anymore. As much as I love them, I'm gonna have to let them go. So there's a lot of that going on, but we just, you know, you seem to be so committed and determined to like do whatever it takes to heal, and that's really the place we need to be. We really need to be like ready to let go of it all and know and trust that, you know, God will give us everything we need for our healing. And once we take that first step, like you did, look, all the answers came to you one after the next. Like, you got an amazing business coach, you found a supportive community, like from that openness, from that just that willingness to do whatever it takes, you find your answers. And truly you're showing us that. Yeah.
It's been a crazy journey. It still is sometimes. Like you never be healed perfectly. It's not about being perfect. It's not. I was first scared. Oh, I'm still not having the perfect skin, and I want to help people. Of course, I can help people because I have so much knowledge. Even the raw foods, even if I help them with transition to more whole foods. Because a few girls told me in the group that actually just joined. They said, "Yeah, I like food too much," and I said, "I like food too, but my taste bud changed, and that's what I want to learn." I was addicted to so much, and now I don't like heavy foods. Your body just get adjusted to it. It's really how the body works. Yeah, it's mental. It's mental. A mental game with the food stuff, right?
Totally. Well, I would love to hear from our kings and queens. I'm sure we have some questions for Queen Nediya. So let us know either in the chat, or if you want to comment, adorn her, give us, share your own perspective. If you have an experience as well, let us know. You can either unmute yourself or write in the comments. If you don't feel like speaking, that's okay too. Or if you have any questions on the Facebook Live, we have quite a few of our kings and queens catching the live as well on Facebook. So this is such an important topic. Let us know if you have any questions for our queen, or if you have any comments, and we'd love to hear from you.
I think so many of the things you said were so important, and it's like a lot, but some of the things that stood out for me, number one, that skin issues are pretty much prevalent with everyone. Everyone's had them at some point in their lives, or may still have them. The skin is the largest organ of the body. It's an organ of excretion, which most people don't understand, and it reflects the internal health of the body. So in order to fix any issues with the skin, you want to start from inside. That's why the whole idea of putting something on the outside is, to make it go away, where it's not the worst thing. I mean, you could put coconut oil on your skin and it would be good for your skin, right? But the idea of putting chemicals on your skin that are going to go into your skin and pollute the internal environment is somehow going to cause the skin to heal when it has to excrete those chemicals back out. It's just not, it doesn't make sense. So I'm really sorry you had to suffer all of that horrible, detoxification. And I just wanted to share a brief story. I had this, I've had a few different skin issues in my life. Once I was young like you, and I went to a dermatologist because I had these pimples in my hair that's called folliculitis. And dermatologist gave me some steroid. No, it was like an antibiotic, or I can't remember exactly what it was, either a steroid or an antibiotic. I took it for a few weeks. The pimples went away. I stopped taking it and the pimples came back. So I went back to the dermatologist. I said, "What am I supposed to do? They keep coming back if I don't take the medicine." He said, "Just keep taking the medicine." And I said, "How long?" And he said, "As long as it takes." I'm like, "The rest of my life?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's up. Thank you for your advice." And I left and never came back. And then I went on the internet and said, folliculitis, what is this? And it said like high sugar diets, especially processed sugar, cause bacteria, which then go to the skin and start, creating inflammation. And so I cut out all the junk and sugar, that I was eating, candy and chocolate. I was much younger then, so I had a lot more junk food, and it went away, and it never comes back unless I do, have like a lot of chocolate or something like that. So that was one story. Another story was I had this patch of eczema on my lower back. It was right around my sacral area. And it was so irritating. It lasted 11 years. I could not make it go away. I tried everything. And then, I don't know, I was reading about all these different aspects of food, like salicylate, I'm not going to remember all the terms now, but different ingredients that certain foods that are inflammatory, even healthy foods, like spinach and nuts and different foods like that I was eating a lot of. And I started experimenting with each one of those foods. And would you know that when I took peanuts out of my diet, after 11 years, the eczema went away in about 3 days and never came back. You know, like, oh
Peanuts.
my God.
Wow.
I've been eating these damn peanuts for 11 years in my smoothies. I was putting peanut powder in my smoothies, you know, with the protein powder with all the fat removed. So it was all like really good for you and organic. And I'm like, yeah, it's great protein, you know. I was doing it to myself. Sometimes, you know, the wisdom comes to you when you're ready for it, I guess. Maybe I was ready to finally start removing certain items from my diet that I might have perceived as being healthy, but actually they were. And I'm not saying peanuts are horrible for everyone, but there are 3 or 4 different ingredients of peanuts that make them probably in the top 10 of foods, you know, that are allergic to most people. All up there with like wheat and soy and corn and dairy products, shellfish and eggs, and you know, some tree nuts, especially peanuts. So anyway, that's my story. I'm glad you were able to share, and I'm so glad that you're here with us on this beautiful journey. Peace out.
Thank you for sharing. I can relate to that with the peanut stuff. Like nuts also don't do well with me. And when I healed a lot, there was no fat at all. Like most of us were going through the detox, especially when you have eczema. Nuts are also, how do you say it? Like Aline said, they were toxic. I heard it also that they are toxic. And like nuts and even avocados made me itch in like the first 2 years. I was itchy because of even avocados. And that with skin issues, it's so difficult. You think you eat healthy, but for me, tomatoes is for now still a no, because it's high histamine and it's just triggering something, more itch. And with the high processed sugars, how you say it? You can create like candida in your gut, and that's gonna involve eczema. That's gonna create eczema problems as well for most people. So it's so difficult with the food part, and you think you eat healthy, but then we realize when you start more into the healing, you realize more about healing. That's also not produced well, or this is also not like they put off GMOs, and it's so annoying. Yeah, it's so annoying to figure out, but I know it for the most part now.
Yeah, so I know that you mentioned that you're a low fat, right? High fruit diet. So is it everything that is fatty, would you say, that was triggering these responses? Like anything like the nuts, the avocado, the high fat content, do you feel that brings it up again?
For now, I don't think so. But when I'm detoxing and I had a flare, because the first 2 years, you have to realize when you used medications, I didn't even use them for so long, but I overused them for a period of time of 3 years. And some people are even using that, like he said, like, sorry, your name again, Ken, if I say it right, it's the easy name. Yeah, Ken said, like, the doctor is saying use it for 20 years or 30, it's okay. I'm so happy that I damaged my body, but not for like 20 years, I don't know. And it's still very bad, of course. But I don't know. It was the overworked liver, like it was a liver problem as well, because the toxic medications, all the things that I ate in my childhood was so bad. The stress, the chronic stress, it was a combination. So when you eat low fat, your liver can finally detox better. And that's what I've learned about raw food and healing. But most people don't realize to go low fat, and people go keto and all that crazy stuff. I don't like labels, by the way. I don't, even with animal products, I still think you can heal this, like topical steroid withdrawal, because people heal without even changing their diet. For some people, that is the case because it's a drug withdrawal. But I believe its diet is the most part, because if you don't change the lifestyle in general, like the diet, mindset, emotional healing, you're still gonna have like the underlying eczema, because that's not being solved. So, but for me, I eat like fruits during the day, and I eat like this big salads in the evening. It looks like 80-10-10, to be honest. And now I don't eat any fats, but that's just how I feel. And I still think sometimes, oh, I need to eat this, I need to eat fats. But if my body don't crave it, why would I? You know, I just crave, like you yourself, Aline. We crave the high fruits, the high water rich fruits. That's just, and liquids, and yeah, that's why I feel the best when I eat like that.
Definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. I really believe that for the periods of healing, it's important to be mostly fruit and low fat. I have seen some huge improvement in myself and healing my gut which now after 2 years of doing that, I can start incorporating a little bit of, you know, avocados, and I'm even having a little bit of seeds and nuts. But for almost 2 years, it was affecting me in such a way that I was like, okay, let me just, better not to have them. But I think maybe and maybe not at some point, you know, we might be able to reincorporate them. But a lot of people say that no fat, like very low fat is the way to go, you know, just high fruit, some veggies, and sticking to that can be very beneficial. But yeah, always listen to your body, and it will tell you. It's like you have this automatic response system now, which most of us don't have, you know, until it's maybe too late, or it's manifested in something like, you know, even more serious.
Yeah, for real. Sometimes I still think that, oh, should I need to eat this and this, because people in my surroundings they are not eating like this. And I'm like, am I crazy still? Sometimes I still think like that. Am I just crazy? Have I eating disorder? What's wrong?
They're not,
yeah,
they're not struggling like you are. Yeah.
But yeah, I just do what the best for me. I think it's better to eat an abundance of fruits and veggies than eating processed foods and don't worry about people worry about me, but it's like the opposite. Or you eat 5 bananas, you know, right? It's just, I eat so much nutritious foods with vitamins and minerals that we need, and I don't crave. And while they have all those cravings, so, and I completely healed all my cravings. I don't crave chocolate anymore, chicken, no, no, not at all. People ask me all the time, do you crave meat? Do you crave this and this? My last craving was potato chips because I wasn't eating enough minerals, like the high salt, and also because of adrenal imbalances. Adrenal fatigue is a very big symptom for people that are going through withdrawal. So,
Wow,
but yeah,
incredible that you've been overcoming. Queen Danielle, yes, I saw that you unmuted. Yes, go ahead.
I'll just quickly say, I too have struggled with skin stuff a lot in my teenage years, and I took antibiotic after antibiotic. That was its own thing. But when I was around 25, I started getting cystic acne, like so bad that you couldn't even like recognize my face. Like that's how bad it was. And in hindsight, I did start getting this acne after I got breast implants. So that was interesting. But it was diet that changed and healed my skin. And I definitely cut out dairy, got on a probiotic, cut out meat. I wasn't even as strict as I am now with how I eat, but just, yes, changing things in my diet just cleared up my skin. And I went on 2 rounds of Accutane, which, you know, is not a good thing. But ultimately, it was diet in the end that cleared my skin. And I think once I cut out the major things, like even to this day, I don't even have pimples at all. But yeah, it was crazy. Like I remember going to the mall and like a little girl like clung to her mom because my skin was so like scary and bad. Like she clung to her mom and was like, what's wrong with her? So it was that bad. Like I still have pictures to this day that I will keep because I'm like, this is where I was at one point. But yeah, it was definitely diet, and like for whatever reason going on a probiotic was like key to me. So yeah,
I'm so happy that you have healthy skin again.
Yeah, it's not fun. And I mean, I still have some scarring from it, but and it did take me a while to like become strong again from going through that, because it like almost strips your identity, like who you are, and like getting that confidence back. But yeah, I don't rely on makeup and anything like that anymore, and I'm just more confident in who I am. But it was a journey for sure. Yeah. And
Mm.
it was the year I got married too. So I'm like, that was hard because I didn't feel confident. I didn't want pictures taken and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, diet is for sure huge. Yeah.
Especially the inflammatory foods. Like I think in my belief, I don't like labels, but for me, I think it's like the high fat foods, especially like dairy, gluten, sugar, like processed foods, and like fried foods. I think those five are the worst, but soy can also be a trigger. But I think those five are the worst. And it's a logic thinking, a way of thinking that processed foods is never okay. But it's so, what Aline always says, like when you going to start your healing journey, it's out of desperation of inspiration. And I listened to all your videos and I was like, yeah, that's me about desperation part. That's why I did it, because I really needed to, yeah, that needed to happen. This needed to happen to really change my lifestyle. But then also what you say, it's like a gift. It's really the things that you actually needed to later serve others. But I didn't know at the time, because you just start your journey for all of us, right? And later you see the results and you see the reasons behind it, but in the middle of it you can't see it, or you don't want to see it, or you just want to survive another day without pain. Simple as that. And even if you still know it, you can still have those painful days. In the wintertime I was like crying again. I was so exhausted, and then I still realized my vision, like I said, and then I healed quicker because the mindset and having a vision is so important in whatever you're dealing with. I keep saying it, but that's really true.
Wow. Yeah, no, definitely. And thank you, Queen Danielle, for sharing that with us. That is quite traumatic, you know, what you've been through. And it really does take away, you know, your self-confidence and how you see yourself in the world, how you love yourself. Like, it's such a humbling experience. And you know, I have been through it as well, where I had moments and weeks where I didn't want to leave the house on end when I was doing drugs and when I was detoxing from drugs. I had a lot of skin issues, like gashes opening. It was horrible. So yeah, definitely. And I just wanted to present that I just found out that taking 1 week of antibiotics in our life requires a year of healing, a year of detoxing. So can you imagine all the antibiotics and medications we took, like everything from even the antidepressants to the topical steroids? Like, this takes a lot of time for the body to regenerate and get the poisons out. I know some people even that are, you know, deep in a juice cleanse after being years on raw foods, and their release, their poop is orange, and that's a sign of the heavy metals and the poisons coming out of the body. There's like so many different layers of healing. So, you know, be patient with yourself and trust that the body is always wanting to restore itself to natural, you know, to its homeostasis. So as long as we keep doing what we're doing, some herbs might be beneficial as well in the healing process. Like, I really encourage everybody to look into getting some herbs to, you know, cleansing, either a juice cleanse or doing high fruit is really going to help. Like Ken said, you know, the healing comes from within. It doesn't come from putting anything on our body. And I really love how you mentioned too about not using any makeup. Like me too, a few years ago, I stopped even putting deodorant. Like, I use natural, if anything, or lime. But you know, anything on the skin is directly going into the bloodstream, into the organs. So hair as well, hair dyes can be, you know, damaging to the body. So let's be natural as much as possible and just enjoy and embrace ourselves. That, you know, in a society that's telling us to constantly be different, this is truly powerful work to be ourselves and be natural. Yeah.
It's like a rebirth when you're going through top steroid withdrawal or acne or every problem, but especially skin issues, you don't recognize yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to, I was a little bit forced, to be honest, to go within. I could or end myself, like end my life, or I can just do the work that I needed to do. It was the right timing, but it wasn't a painful way. And I think that's also a reason that I'm so strong, because I don't know, I just don't give up. And I'm so young and I've been through all of that, also with my childhood, going from group home to group home, wasn't raised by my parents, but I'm not in a victim mentality anymore, because I know when the self-love comes, you're going to create the things that you deserve. And that, yeah, I don't know. it's crazy, right? What we are as humans can, yeah, like how you say that, survive and just, it's the minds. It's so crazy how we can overcome all kinds of things.
Hmm. Oh, you give us so much hope and courage and strength. Thank you. And, healing for, not just for yourself, but for generations to come. Like everybody around you is going to benefit from you doing this work, and generations to come afterwards as well. Even coming on this, I know it's, not been easy for you to share your journey. So we're so, so grateful for you to be here with us. And this will have a ripple effect in the cosmos, and will, this like answering the higher calling, and you will get so much fruit from this, and help a lot of people. Queen Jenny, I see you came on mute. Talk to us.
Thank you so much for coming on today. I think, most people can relate to skin issues, but also sometimes it's hard to talk about them because, it feels kind of embarrassing, and it's a really vulnerable topic that a lot of people will even really just avoid. But I think it's so important for us to talk about. And I love what you were saying about no makeup too. I've talked about that in the past, how just my journey with it, I used to kind of hide behind it, but now I just more and more try to just embrace, being imperfectly perfect, just the way we are. We're so beautiful and we don't have to hide. And I don't think anything's wrong with makeup either, but if we're using it for, hiding ourselves, that's not healthy. We're not telling ourselves the right things in that instance, but also I was really grateful to hear what you said about skin issues recurring even when we're in healing, because, often we do kind of doubt what we're doing, because we're doing something so incredible like healing ourselves with living foods, and it's not something that's really like accepted by society. So it's easy for us to sometimes question ourselves. I'm really, really deep in a juice cleanse. And in the beginning, I had a pretty bad eczema kind of breakout on my hand. And I just thought, it was detox. And I mean, that's what it was, but I thought it was going to go away quick. I didn't think that it was it's still here. And I'm almost to like day 140 in my juice cleanse, and that eczema is still on my hand, and I've been having breakouts all around my forehead. I was having scalp issues with my skin, but that is probably like 80% gone now. But I'm breaking out like bad on my forehead, and it's just it's never ending, But what you said made me feel so much better. Like Aline was saying about the antibiotics. So I've never taken much antibiotics, even as a kid. It's probably the only time I ever had it. And then when I had my daughter about 2 years ago, I was GBS positive. Y'all may or may not know what that is, but it's when you have a certain bacteria in your body that they don't want to get on the baby when the baby's born. And so they say you need antibiotics when the baby, 24 hours in advance, when your water breaks, you're supposed to get antibiotics. So I did that, but my water broke, and my daughter, she didn't come for 24 hours, and they just every couple hours dosed me with antibiotics until I had her.
Oh.
And now that's, I think, where all of my health issues started after I had her. I really, truly believe that's where it's from, because my husband and I, we don't even take Tylenol or, not even we don't take any medication. So they were just giving me round the clock antibiotics. And then once you get to the hospital too, they won't allow you to eat until you have the baby, once you go into the maternity ward. So I was just having water and antibiotics for 24 hours. And, but I'm sorry, back to what I was saying was that I think that's I'm detoxing that now. Maybe that's why it's taking me so long on the juice. And maybe that's why I'm having the constant skin detox. This kind of makes me feel hopeful that maybe all that antibiotics and stuff is getting out, because I really thought that some of this by this long in would be gone, but I know healing's not a immediate thing. It does take time, but I just appreciate you mentioning that it's not just you eat raw food and then boom, you're healed. That's not how it is. It takes a long time for us to get, to this point, eating and messing up our gut. And then we think like we can heal it overnight, but it takes a long time. But it gives me hope, you saying that like it's normal to have like the skin issues keep happening, and keep bubbling up. But I really appreciate you coming on, and I resonated so much with so many topics that you said, like about the makeup and, cleansing from within, and also the mindset. And when we change our diet, it's so liberating and freeing to our minds to not be so cluttered with like all these thoughts clouding out like our true selves, where we really know what to do to heal ourselves, like that deep intuition. All this stuff in the outside world clouds that out of our mind, but the more clear our mind gets, the more we can like narrow in and focus on what it is we want to do. Like, I can't wait to see you living somewhere tropical. I want to move somewhere tropical too. It's on my family's vision board as well.
Everybody's gonna come to Belize.
Yes, I would love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, you're going to be a great coach. I already know. And it's such a beautiful thing to find something that you're so passionate about so early on too. That's just such a beautiful thing, that you already know so much about healing the body, that it's going to be incredible to see how many people you touch and help. And I hope that we see more of your journey in our community, because we just have so much love and support for one another, and we just love to uplift and see each other grow. So I'm really looking forward to seeing all the people that you help. You've already helped me today, so thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. So happy that I helped you without even realizing it, because I'm such a perfectionist. I'm like, oh, I can become a coach, but I don't know. I'm still not perfect myself. But it's not about it, right? And what you said about flaring, it goes in cycles, especially when certain organs were not even good working from the beginning. Because most of the people that have like eczema or any skin issues, but I speak for myself, are also high sensitive. I don't know what I've been joining another group community with Dutch women, 5 of them, and they are all like we have similar things in our character, in our high sensitivity. We are just so high sensitive for the environment as well. But it's so I learned so much now about like eczema and healing and how it works, and those things we don't learn at school, at college, and it's so, I don't know, it's painful, but it's so nice now that I know, okay, a flare, but that's not that I do, that you are doing the right things. That raw food's gonna heal you. It in your, you just know, but you also need to realize what you came from for all those years. I'm young, but I've damaged so much. And also eczema is also a lot of the times how your mom's gut microbiome is. She gave it to you. And also, I actually heard and studied about not breastfeeding, and well, it's just about the gut microbiome a lot of times when it comes to eczema, and what your mother did, how her lifestyle is or was when she had you, when she gave birth. So it's and what for medications she how you said it, got from.
She has eczema all on her hands.
See, so we break with the healing journey. We break those like weak organs, weak how you say it, generational stuff. I don't know how you say that, but you know what I mean. I think it's just breaking those unhealthy patterns. Yes, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So for me, it also feels that I break the whole family traumatic stuff. They don't want to solve their trauma, but I'm the person that's breaking through those things, and it's very scary sometimes. You can feel very alone, because I don't speak that much to my family at all. Well, my biological mom, but she has like how do you say that, lower IQ, so that was the main reason that she couldn't take care of me. But she wasn't eating healthy. She's still smoking. So it's not crazy to think that we get skin issues when we see how our parents and grandparents have lived for decades, for so long. So you can feel like a warrior, like I'm doing differently. I'm doing different things, I'm going for natural stuff. So we can be proud of that and remind ourselves when we have a flare again, or feeling depressed again, or things come up, just realize what you already been through and what you already changed in your life, what most people don't want to face. So really, you can be really proud of yourself for that. Truly.
I just received this message the other day from a sister of mine that reminds me of what you're saying, and I'll share it in the group. It says, never underestimate a cycle breaker. Not only did they experience years of generational trauma, but they stood in the face of the trauma and fought to say, this ends with me. This is brave. This is powerful. This comes at a significant cost. Never underestimate a cycle breaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you send you that? When was the message sent to you?
Yesterday.
Oh, it's like a quote.
Yeah, it's a quote. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So that's you. That's us. That's, you know, when we feel the call to change whatever crap our family was doing, it ends here. And that's the work here. It's so powerful, and it's so great to be with all of you. I feel so empowered, because me too, I felt so alone, you know, and that's part of the reason why I created this community too. And I know that's why you're creating your community, is to come together with others that are like, you know, I don't call us the black sheep of our family. I call us the unicorns, because we're meant to shine, you know, and we're meant to like be so bright. And they're, unfortunately, you know, many of them will stay asleep, and that comes with a lot of judgment, that comes with a lot of persecution sometimes. But we are the change makers, you know, for ourselves and for our children, or if we don't have children, like our spirit children that we will care for throughout our life. It's really beautiful to be doing this work with you, and to see you rising and shining, feeling more confident, more embodied in who you are, and overcoming all the fears it takes to share like this. It's not easy to come on camera and to share. So I commend you a lot for it.
And especially when I've been through topical steroid withdrawal, I was never like socially awkward or anything, but people don't realize the mental part and how it changed. Yeah, it changed you so much when you have skin issues. They think, oh, it's just red patches. No, it's just, it can change you socially so much. And especially when you're chronically ill in general, or healing, I would say. I never said I'm sick. I'm sick. I always say I'm healing. That really helps with the mindset part as well. But it's really about, now I forgot what I wanted to say. But what was the about the healing mindset? I was talking about something and now I just forgot.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Happens to me all the time.
Yeah. I don't know anymore.
No, it's okay.
Just talking about how, like, you know, skin issues really change your mentality too. Like, it affects who you are. That's what you were talking about, how it's not just a physical issue, but like mentally, you know, it affects who you feel you are as a person, and how that, you know, how you are around other people, you know, and the way you do things you do.
Yeah, yeah, I remind again. I want to say that when you are not even dealing with skin issues maybe, but you're isolating yourself when you are on a deep healing journey. You're isolating yourself, you're alone most of the time. You have more online friends and YouTubers that you watch because you're so not only desperate, but also inspired, and you are going to a different direction. And with skin issues is even more, because you can see it from the outside and people are going to ask questions and, oh, what is this? And you already, I had so many times, I worked with children for a time. Hi. And they were saying, children, no, when they see something that's different on the face or anything, even one pimple, they're going to ask, what is this? You know, like, what do you have here? And you can't blame them, but I was facing that in work, and it stressed me even more out because I didn't want to feel I already felt it physically, but I was finding distraction in my work, and people are still going to remind me about my skin issues, and that's also a reason that I just thought I'm just going to isolate myself. I just don't want to be surrounded by people now. But it's very how you said it, confronting when you are 22 years old and you can't be a normal 22 year girl. You can't do the things that you wanted to do. But but now I don't want to do those things like going out, partying. I don't want to do those things. I like to be in nature. Give me a walk with a friend and I'm happy. I'm good, you know. It's so funny how that has changed, and I'm grateful for that, because those activities gives you real peace instead of like distraction, stimulation, everything outside of you. So I don't know. I think I have a happy life in front of me if I've been through so much, and I've learned so much, and I can relate with people in their older age as well, because I don't know, most people's in their 20s don't change their lifestyle either,
No.
especially raw,
Yeah,
foods.
most people at your age are out there drinking, partying, you know, and yeah, just like having a great old time. But you have been through all this, and I feel like it's no coincidence that there's a time right now, you know, the awakening of the planet too. Like, you know,
Yeah,
you have been called to heal at a very young age, because we need you right now to support us, you know, to support others that are in their awakening, you know, like a lot of the light workers, we've gone through the dark nights of our soul, or, you know, we're coming out of it because there's a need for us to, you know, help raise the frequency. Even if we are still in our dark night of the soul, we're still raising the frequency. We're still healing for the whole. So we're definitely in this together. You're not alone. Our community is here for you as well. And you are giving us a great gift in sharing your journey, because, you know, we all need hope, and we all need to see others recover, and to see what's possible, whether it's overcoming addictions or overcoming cancer or skin issues, whatever it may be. We need to see somebody that's gonna help us with our why, with our vision, is to have that inspiration.
having a vision for everyone. It can be small, can be big, but if you're here on this planet, just have a vision. And if you don't have it yet, just explore yourself more and go more within, you know. Don't focus on all the external things that it's not gonna fulfill you, like make you really happy. It's just, especially with like, for example, the French fries. People say, do you never crave those things? And I'm like, I can eat it, but then it reminds myself of the depression that I had and the emotional eating that I had. It's not worth it. And I'm not like black and white thinking and labels, not at all, but I don't know. I don't need that pizza. And if I want, I make a raw pizza or a healthy, clean one, because my body don't even crave those processed things anymore. Lowering my like vibration a lot. Like I'm sensitive to those things. So yeah.
Great. Well, before we wrap up, one more question. What would you say is the greatest lesson that you've learned? I'm sure there's many lessons, but what would you say that the greatest takeaway from all your journey would be, your healing journey?
Oh my gosh. I think in the end, it's about being vulnerable, not be scared to be vulnerable. Because since I've done that last year, actually, I did a spoken word for 2,050 people and 80 people. And they named me a spoken word artist because I went through a lot of shit, but since I could like write, I'm a writer, I play piano, now I do spoken word. And I told my story about my youth, my childhood, like all the things that I went through in youth care. And I did that, and those people, I touched their like they were crying, and some of them were crying, and they were like higher people in organizations. And I did that. I was so scared. It was like a project, and I did the performance, and I realized this is my place. I am a public speaker because I talk a lot and I like to talk, but I'm still so shy sometimes from my traumas and from the people that I surrounded, like my situation. But that was like last year was a eye-opener for me, and the right things came when I started to open up about my most painful like situations and traumas. And so be vulnerable. Don't be scared to be vulnerable, because when you do that, other people, it's so funny how other people try to connect with you then and start to open up and laying shed those layers and being unfiltered. So it's very nice to see how that changed my life. Be vulnerable. Don't be scared.
I love it. Yes, vulnerability is your superpower. I definitely believe
you can
that.
be scared. You can be scared, just do it anyway.
Mm.
You
Like a
feel-
lot of us, we would listen to these sort of things and not even get on camera because like I didn't even like to come on camera. But then I just started doing it. I was inspired because Aline was shy on camera. And I wanted to make sure someone was here too. So, but now I love it. Like I love coming talk to everybody and see everybody. Sometimes what you're saying is so right. Like we need to be vulnerable because other people are in pain. Other people are hurting. They're going through the same sort of things that we're going to, and nobody, you know, we might feel like nobody else is suffering, but we're all suffering in silence, But if we pop out and be vulnerable, like you said, and show people and just show your face, and then you find out like maybe you had this gift deep inside, now you know that you had this gift deep inside to help other people, and you're going to be able to take that and just go so far with it because you got outside of your comfort zone. So, man, such a great lesson, vulnerability. I think that was just beautiful. You're so right.
Don't be scared. A lot of people are so scared. It's so sad to see how I'm very sensitive to that stuff. And when you eat, I don't know for you guys, but when you eat more raw foods, you become so sensitive. And that's why I don't fit into the energy of this city anymore. I just realized I get more stressed and anxious here because the energy here with the people, and not only what they eat, but how they think, the limited belief thinking, it's not fitting me anymore. I really need to be in a place with like people like you, yourself. And I don't know, it's so crazy how, and also scary that you realize I don't fit in my place where I live right now. I don't fit in this inner circle where I'm surrounding myself with people anymore. I don't need to be with my mom that much because she's holding me back. It's that's scary, but it's also like, it's like how you said it loses you a little bit. Like, I can do things differently. There are other ways instead of being in a fearless, not fearless, fear mindset, and all those limited beliefs. And I'm so grateful that I get to learn those things at such a young age. Sorry, it's getting late here, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh. Yes, you're such a blessing to us and to our world. And just always follow your heart. Don't feel guilty for doing what's best for you, whatever that may be. And, just trust that the next step will be the right step when you follow your heart and you follow your higher guidance. And people will just have to deal with the consequences, we can love them. It doesn't mean you don't have to have a relationship with them. We can love them from far. But when, if you realize that someone is holding you back, you're going to see so much energetic shifts from taking that distance from them or moving to that beach place that you've been dreaming of, or, taking that course, like whatever it is that makes you feel alive, like do it and you will see all the doors open. You deserve it. It's your life at the end of the day. We're not here to people please. We're not here to take care of other people's feelings. That's probably why we are in the situation. Why we've been sick in the first place is because we did things for other people or we suppressed so many emotions. But now it's time to satisfy your needs. And from that place, you will overflow and you will be able to serve so many more people. Yes.
Well said. It's actually really true.
Yes.
So funny how I've watched your videos, and now I was saying to my brother, I think he's gone now. I was saying, oh my gosh, I'm getting invited with Aline, and I was watching her YouTube videos, and now those people that I've watched in my desperate times are now becoming my online friends. But that's like manifestation, right? Because I already knew I wanted to connect with people like you yourself. I just knew I resonated so much, even though like the problem is maybe different, it's all the same in the end. Whatever, if it's skin issues, if it's like drug things, it's just the same in the end. It's a journey that brings like people together, like we or yourselves. So beautiful, because those things you didn't find it. I didn't find it, if I speak for myself, in my own inner circle in my life, my whole life. So it's so nice that there are other people that are high sensitive and light workers and all that stuff. It's so it's really really.
Well, I love the internet for this reason, because it really does bring us together in ways that we would have never been able to connect, without. So I give thanks to you and to all of our community here. You are all helping me save my life, and I am so happy to offer this platform, this space for all of us to heal together. And you have given us a great gift today, and I'm so grateful for you and for you saying yes to the invitation to come share.
My English is getting better with time. Wait for it.
It's perfect. I love your accent. It's very exotic. I love it. Your English is
So good.
excellent.
It's fine, right? But it's, I don't know. Sometimes I have like a hard time to pronounce some words. But I watch everything in English now, and the people in the group for my coaching as well are, most of them are English, so I'm getting used to just by doing it. But it's also just become coming out of your comfort zone. I just do it, and it's fine.
No, it's perfect. You're perfect, and we love you so much. Thank you for coming on. And if anybody would like to share some more insights in our group, tag Queen Nediya if you need some support from her. If you are interested in her program as well, let's share those information in the group. I invite you to do that with us for our kings and queens who are interested in working with you and joining your community, joining your program. You are more than welcome to share it in our group and to share some more about it. If you have more videos, if, we can also put that video. I put it in the comments. It's called Skin on Fire documentary. I really encourage everybody to watch it. It was a really powerful video that you shared with me. So thank you for that. Yes.
Yes, I want to make my own videos as well. I've been thinking about it for years, but then I wasn't ready yet. But I have so much to share. I have so much to share about the skin, but things in general, what comes to healing, when it comes to healing, it's so important. But my program is not about like, oh, become high raw, or it's high raw what I want to implement for the girls or women or even men that I want to help. It's also like the mindset and manifestation work, visualization, healthy lifestyle in general. But I'm mainly focused on eczema, but in the end, I just want to help highly sensitive women, I think. But it's gonna involve I'm gonna see, and eczema is easier to, it's easier to find people that are struggling with skin issues. And I know that that's so important that people learn how to heal naturally, how the body works. And I'm still learning. So, but it's not about being perfect, like I said. And I think I can help a lot of people already with my program, because yeah, it's a 3-month program, but I just want to start with 4 girls, like a community, like a cohort group.
Yeah.
And I hope some of the girls that watch my training, like webinar Wednesday, want to join, and I get my first clients. But I believe, even especially when this live came, or this session, I think I can do this. I just have to show up and be myself. And yeah, so I hope I get my first clients soon. But I just want to help. It's not only for me getting the financial freedom or anything, but I really want to move out of here, but I really want to help. That's the most thing. I know how hard it is, and I can prevent them for going through years of suffering. And that's the most important thing for me, serving other people. It's not about me. Not at all. It's about
you are, and you will continue to. Your webinar is on Wednesday for those that are interested. So I encourage you to if you can make a post in our group and share with us like all your offerings, and then let us know about the Wednesday webinar, so that we can share it with our loved ones as well, and be there for you, be there for us, and heal together. I will be thinking about you and sending you so much love and so much good energy, so that
thank you so much.
not only one client, but many clients over the next few weeks will reach out. Yes.
Think big, not small, right? No small thinking anymore. It's so hard to change your mind if you've been doing so much limited beliefs and all of that, but it's like time to make a change for all of us, right? There are beautiful things happening right now.
Yeah, so many beautiful things. So many beautiful things. Well, we are here for you. We thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. We are all in this together.
Yes.
I'm sending you so much love. We'll see you
Very
next
grateful.
week. Yes,
Next week.
grateful.
We
Sorry.
speak next week, or
Yeah, we do these every Saturday. Sometimes we have guest speakers, sometimes we do integration week, but every Saturday at this time we gather.
okay, I really have to join now.
Yeah.
I have to be active in this group, because I think this is great, the community. You are great people and so much similarities as well, even though we have a different background and different lives. So nice. I felt very safe to share my story, and it was very
Yes,
very
you are safe here. You are safe. Yeah, we're all very loving and such a kind and gentle group. I love our group. I love our community.
Well, I'm there next week then.
All right, great. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what will happen next week. Every week is a little bit different. But last week's integration week went on long, right, Queen Jenny? My internet sucked. I was at the jungle resort and my internet stopped, but they kept going. I don't even know how that happened. I was like, not even in the Zoom. My internet was out and they were like, we continued for like another hour without you.
Yes. God knew we needed some more time. He
Yeah.
worked it out. We had a nice chat.
Yeah. No, I love it.
All right.
Well, we will see you next week. Bye. Take care.
Take
You love.
care.
Bye, all.
Bye. Bye.